A100 with Konnan and Disco is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is your number one source for the NBA and the NHL playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAD, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. The game starts here. So, Coney, you watched Clash at the Castle.
Yep.
Were you excited?
It was a good show.
So it opens up with AJ and Cody. This was a good match. You know what? You know why? Well, why do you think Cody is their top babyface?
I have no idea. That's something but I will say this. He's always in shape. He looks professional. He dresses good, and he always put on good matches.
Yeah. Give me an example what you think are the elements that he puts into that makes it a good match.
Yeah, he's not afraid to take big bumps. He can work his off.
It always builds right. He sells.
Right. Well, I'm gonna be more specific, okay? And I think the reason that they like him and that people get with him, bro, he invests a lot in selling to get sympathy from the audience.
Well,
watch how hard he works.
You know who he learned
selling.
that from?
Yes, he's constantly showing agony, pain and agony on his face, his body. Just like he does a very good job of selling. And bro, like if you go back and you watch like Hulk Hogan,
Dusty,
matches,
bro,
when it was
Dusty Hogan too,
Dusty too,
Morton.
All of the top baby faces that got the people didn't do it because of their moves and stuff like that. They did it because they invested a lot of time into showing agony out there to get the people to cheer them to come back in the match. And Cody does that very, very well. And he arguably does it better than anybody in the business right now, which is maybe why he's the top.
It's very important.
He's the top guy.
It's very important. Yeah.
Reminds me of a 1996 Tommy Dreamer. That's how good he is.
Right. There was a lot of, this is an I Quit match, so it's done well. And just, you had a lot of gimmicks, chairs, handcuffs. Plus, too, they did a spot where Cody threw a chair and hit AJ in the head with the chair. I would bet it was a gimmick, like a lighter chair, because I doubt WWE does that. I don't know if they do that. Maybe they do. Like I wouldn't think they would throw a live steel chair, hard at another guy, hit him right in the head with it. I think it would be like a gimmick of like a lighter chair that sounded like it was steel. Would you agree with that, Konnan? Or do you think they maybe did it?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Yes, it's a good match, and of course, Cody wins. And they had Cody's mom at ringside, and she was like cussing AJ out. I thought that was pretty entertaining.
She slapped him.
Right?
I like the fans going for AJ, and then Nigel goes, well, Scotland did get whipped 5-0 yesterday, so they're trying, they're venting their frustration. And and then they started to boo yeah on the punches. Right. The Cody.
I'm not a fan of that.
Well, let them do what they want. They're soccer fans. They're soccer chants.
Well, it's overseas fans. They cheer differently than we do here, right?
Right.
They're smelly Europeans.
They're doing the Cody. What?
Smelly Europeans. They don't wear deodorant.
Only the Germans do that. Only the Germans and people from Delco. And so, have you ever been to Europe?
I would suggest, Joe. I would suggest that if we were going to do a body odor quotient, like if you rate body odor 1 to 10, okay, what would you rate higher in body odor quotient, like more body odor? Delco, Pennsylvania, or Europe? What would you say?
Bro, just look at Appalachian hillbillies like Joe. You think that he has good hygiene?
All right. So
let me. Do you want to say anything, Joe, before I finish what I was saying?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
So the people were super hot, very physical. When Cody would say no, he would get a huge pop. At one point, he said hell no and got a real huge pop. They used candlesticks, straps. I wasn't the brainbuster on the table was nuts. I wasn't a big fan. I liked the chain on the handcuffs. Usually, instead of being short, this was like a foot long. I was not a big fan of the finish of him picking up the stairs and him going, I quit. Because he hit him with the stairs anyways. I would have hit him with the stairs, and then maybe I'm going to – but I did not like that finish. I did like Cody being attacked by the Samoans.
So next was Yeah, they attacked him after the match, so they're set up a 6-man, obviously. With
and then Orton came out
'cause,
and helped
what's her
them
name
for the
is
people
out
that
there.
haven't. Yeah.
Yeah. So next is the 6-way tag for the belts, triple threat: Cargill, Belair against Alba Fire and Isla and Baszler and Stark. And they get near the end. Well, Cargill did a springboard off the top and fell. Apparently, the ropes on that ring were not good. Supposedly, the top rope. They showed I see some clips of the referee telling AJ before the match the ropes aren't watch out for the ropes. He grabs the ropes and stuff. Everything. So I don't know. But so they did that cool finish that they do where they formed their DDT suplex combo. But when then Dawn grabbed Belair and suplexed her, and Fire held Belair's legs down while Dawn covered Baszler and pinned her. Actually, very creative finish, and they kind of stole it. It was like one of those finishes that those who are the two Fruit Booty guys that they used to do. Pretty Deadly,
right.
When they were
Pretty Deadly, right.
stealing matches, so it was like one of those finishes, right?
Right, and
so it was good finish for them. So
right. So this match was good. I mean, Cargill's still green, but Belair started the same way. They protect her a lot, and I was wondering how they beat them, but they never really beat them. They beat the other people, and that's what I wanted to see. Obviously, they did this to make the people happy because I guess the one of the girls, her mom got hit by a car, and they knew they were going to be a letdown in the main event, like you said, Disco. So this was a feel-good moment, and they'll probably get it back because they didn't get beat, and I thought they had gotten beat. So once you watch the show, I had a different reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Disco, did you know that the Unholy Union is only the second female tag team to hold both the women's tag titles and the NXT tag titles?
So Sammy against Chad Gable, and on the pre-show, Akira Tozawa wandered off, and Gable said he would make him pay on Monday. So Dupree's in a walking boot, and Otis is out there. So Gable left the ring and grabbed the title belt off the podium at ringside and left it with Dupree. Gable returned to the ring and choked Zayn over the middle rope, and Gable distracted the ref, and Dupree wound up to hit Zayn with the belt, but she decided not to. And Gable barked at Dupree to join him on the apron, and Gable told her he's sick of her never listening. Zayn went for a haluva kick that Gable avoided, and Zayn stopped short of hitting the move on Dupree and checked on her. Gable hit the Chaos Area Zayn for a near fall, and then Gable went to ringside to scold Dupree. Otis got between them, went nose to nose with Gable. The crowd with all of this, by the way. And Zayn dove from the ring, and Otis shoved Gable out of the way and took the move himself. Back in the ring, Zayn avoided a Gable move and then hit him with an exploder suplex, and Zayn went for a haluva kick, but he sold his ankle with Gable to the floor. Gable. Zayn followed and was put an ankle lock on the floor. Then Zayn rolled out of the move, which sent Gable crashing into the bad leg of Dupree, who sold it. Gable returned to the ring and bickered with the ref, hoping Otis would attack Zayn, who was holding her bad ankle ringside. Then Otis wound up to hit Zayn, but he was distracted by Dupree selling her bad leg. So Otis picked up Dupree, and Gable yelled at Otis, and Otis carried Dupree to the back because she's hurt. Then Zayn returned to the ring and hit Gable with the haluva kick and pinned him. And after the match, Zayn played to the crowd while Gable just kind of stared into space. What'd you think of this?
Way too long, the match. Over 20 minutes, bro. That's just too much for me.
22 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah. And the most important part of this was, Gable accidentally knocking down Maxine and Otis carrying her off, right? Getting beat. Because all this is doing is, the eventual Gable versus Otis feud, right? Good booking. Really good booking.
So I didn't watch the next match, Gable versus.
Now, do you have any comments? Because you said you saw this, Joe, on any of these matches?
Well, Zayn, I always thought when he first came into NXT and stuff, I was like, this guy is such a good babyface. I was seeing like the next Shawn Michaels type, not like
What?
that gimmick, but
really
being that over.
I didn't see that.
Fan. Not in Sammy, but
come on, the guy showed up looking like a taxi driver.
Not like all flamboyant, but just the way the fans love Shawn. I always thought Sammy would get that kind of. And then he became such a great heel. Now that he's back to a babyface, though, I think I prefer him this way. It was a really good match. And then, like I said a few weeks ago, the Otis and Gable thing, man, I've seen it get people engaged that aren't even wrestling fans. Obviously it's
Folks,
working.
this is the same guy that is a big fan of Camarado and tried to push Clutch Adams as this big thing. Continue.
Camarado is getting screwed.
How's he getting screwed? He's not charismatic. He doesn't cut a good promo. His matches are all right.
Wait a
He's
minute.
got
Not
whatever-
charismatic.
So you had a bear. Yeah, you think you're charismatic, bro, and you're
Have you ever
paint dry.
seen him with the lollipop? Not many guys can pull that off.
You can. I've
All right.
seen you with things in your mouth just like that. Nothing.
Storms blow up.
So Bailey versus Piper Niven. I didn't watch this. Bailey went over. Do
I'm
anything?
good
I
with
guess Green tried a distraction, was thwarted, and Bailey, the crucifix driver, got the 3 count.
Okay, I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised the crowd was like 50-50 because
Mhm.
Bailey's really over, especially that song that they
Piper
whatever.
Niven's from Scotland.
Right, and it was 50-50.
Yeah.
It was hilarious because Chelsea Green was wearing a Rey Mysterio mask, and it was obviously her, right? And Michael Cole, I think it was Michael Cole. He kept going, "Who is that? Who is that?" And the other guy goes, "It's Chelsea Green, you idiot." But it was funny because you could tell who she is. And of course, they do this far too much. It still gets a pop, but it's going to become a point where it doesn't. They sent her to the back. This started off really slow, and I was like, I'm going to fast forward through this. And then it kind of turned up. She did a great belly to belly off the top, Bailey to Piper Niven, right? And then they did this thing where they did a crucifix, but she rolled over, taking her momentum into it. Very good finish.
Mm-hmm. Sounds exciting.
Well, it doesn't have to be exciting. It was good.
No.
Just
By the way, earlier I missed this. Kathy Kelly interviewed the new tag team champions, Alba Fire and Izzo Dawn. They were very excited.
big deal. They don't look like stars. They don't come off as stars, and big deal.
They were happy. They won. They were happy.
Why wouldn't they be?
All right. So the main event. Drew comes out to bagpipe music. I'm a big fan of bagpipe.
Yeah, wasn't that Roddy Piper's song that they were playing, or no?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up, Joe.
That was
See if you
great.
can pull Drew
To
McIntyre.
come out to two.
Bro, he came
Cash
off as a
and-
bigger star than Damien.
Yeah, he did. Well, he is a bigger star in his hometown today. Let's ask that question right now. Who's the bigger star, Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest?
Drew.
It's a good question.
I'd say Drew, though.
Yeah,
Let's do this. Let's ask this.
Drew's got
Let's rank.
longevity.
Let's rank the star power on Raw. Okay. So who's the number one star in Raw?
Cody.
Cody Rhodes. Okay. But Cody's multi-brand though. That doesn't. Cody's by far the number one star. Both brands. He's multi-brand. He wrestles on both shows. Okay. Who's number two?
Punk.
Punk's number two. I would agree with that. Okay. Who's number three? Because you know what this
It's
reminds me
between
of.
Drew and
Let me give you a
Damien.
perfect example of what this is. This reminds me of the BCS rankings. Like
Right.
if we're talking about the top five, like number one is always pretty cut and dry, right? Cody Rhodes.
Alabama or Georgia.
Number two is like, okay, Punk. Yeah, he's a pretty clear number. Now 3 through 5 is like difficult.
Right.
Like somebody, you're gonna feel like somebody's gonna get excluded for the top. So who is it? I would throw out these names. I would say Randy Orton, but he's not on the show enough. Okay. So I'd say between Drew, Seth Rollins, and
Damien.
I'm going to throw this name out there because he's been appearing more regular on these shows. I would say Logan Paul.
Okay.
For star power, I would put him.
I wouldn't disagree.
Like number 5.
On disagree.
Right, yeah.
And probably
And
number
everybody else
6 is Ray.
Right, and then Priest. You got Priest, Drew, Punk, Randy Orton, Logan Paul. LA Knight is close to breaking into that
He's
sphere.
probably underneath
And with
Ray.
Roman gone, where would you put Solo in star power or the Bloodline star power?
Underneath everybody we just mentioned.
Yeah, it
Right,
needs
pretty much.
It
Huh?
needs Roman.
Yeah.
He's still being groomed.
Right. Okay, so next was so Drew comes out to the bagpipe music. Big fan of that. Did you have that clip, Joe? The Drew
I
entrance? Let's see it. I want to see it again. Oh, Conan, do you have your fan on? That's that sound.
Yeah, same song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Roddy Piper music for sure.
Yeah. I thought it was familiar. I go, isn't that Roddy's music?
Piper had 2 songs, and both of them were really good.
Yeah,
Big fan of Roddy
WCW one
Piper.
was a little different. Yeah.
Well, bagpipe music is just really cool, you know?
Right.
Okay, so they have the match and it's 1-on-1. All right, so they're just going to do a lot of storytelling back and forth, but this is a 20-minute match. So we get near the end, and I'm going to make a point here, something that they do very, very, very well in WWE. Okay, so McIntyre tossed Priest across the ring, and McIntyre pushed Priest into the corner. Okay, the referee dove through the second and third rope to get out of the way and landed on the apron. Okay, and then he rolled to the floor. He was made a concerted effort to get out of the way so he didn't get hit. Right? Did you see this?
Yeah, and he actually rolled and hit the barricade.
Right. So then when he tried to get back in the ring, when he jumped back up on the apron, they did a spot where they knocked him off the apron. Okay.
Right.
And he took a good bump. Bro, they do it. That's one thing that they do well that AEW does terrible. They're very clever and they sell it very well whenever there's ref bumps and it's not.
And even better was what you're about to say.
Getting buried. Yeah.
Right. And even better is what you're about to say. What came next?
So then the ref bump, and then so then the second referee comes out, and they have the camera shot set up where the referee slides in, and they do the 1, 2, and the camera shot is over the shoulder of the referee.
Right.
So then they come back and he stops, and Drew looks at him, and you get the camera shot.
That was great. That was great. Yeah.
Punk, Drew gets he grabs Punk, he chokes him into the corner. Punk nails him. And feeds in for the slam for the win.
Yeah, and the guy goes, Punk's got a lot of, and I was like, how about Drew's? He just got, but that was very good. The ending was very good.
Continues to sell the progression, the storytelling progression. The fans obviously didn't like it. You could hear a pin, very the fans were kind of shocked that they did that to them. It was very quiet.
Yeah, because I think that. But here's the thing: when I don't know if you noticed this. So when the referee gets thrown out, everybody stands up and looks to the entranceway because they knew Punk was coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But they kind of turned down the lights so you couldn't tell it was him. It was very, very well done.
Right. Very. Yeah. They just produced the finishes so well.
Yeah. So
if I was in a seat there and say it was a pay-per-view in Philadelphia and they had some big Philadelphia hometown guys going for the belt, I wouldn't expect him to win in this situation because Damien's only had the belt a couple of months, if that, a little bit more. It's just not time, And
right.
It's just a problem of timing.
It's not time, but the people big time.
And here was the problem. I think there would have been more doubt into what this finish would have been if they hadn't had the King of the Ring and had Gunther saying he gets a shot at SummerSlam, because there would have been doubt here that McIntyre could have gone over, and then him and Punk would have been the next the match you're building to. That could have been for the belt at SummerSlam. So I think everybody knew what was going to happen.
They might be thinking Drew and Punk doesn't need the belt.
I'm sure that. Well, that's what they do. Now, they did think that, but maybe they should have done the King of the Ring afterwards, after this event. I don't know, but yeah, I thought very well done. Two really good matches on this show. The Damien, the Priest Drew match was really good, and so was Cody and AJ and Sammy and Chad. They progressed.
Solid show. Even the girls match was good, bro. The women's match was not bad, but the one between Bayley and Niven, which I had very low expectations, was actually very good. Everybody brought their A game to Glasgow.
I'm not willing to accept a pay-per-view in 2024 that has less than 13 matches, dude. This is ridiculous. 5 matches? Come on.
Well,
what's wrong with that? I like that.
Point here.
I know.
There's nothing wrong with this short. Because here's the thing, Joe. You got to understand. Don't call these pay-per-views anymore. They're just premium live events, and nobody wants to go.
I know.
Nobody wants to go to a show and sit for 4 hours
or
anymore.
5
Nobody
hours.
does.
WWE is smart like that. The massive AEW pay-per-views with 13 matches. That's all.
Even 3 hours is excessive because, bro, people are fatigued. Movies are 3 hours.
There's nothing worse, bro, than
everything.
Looking at your watch and going, "There's another hour left," and you're just tired, bro. And you're like, "I paid so much money, I might as well stay." That used to happen to me at PWG shows.
Yeah, the experience gets worse.
Right,
the longer it goes on.
Because you're tired.
Right?
And you want to get out.
But yeah, there was.
You know how sometimes we do really long shows. And then at the end, we don't really have a lot of energy and we just want to leave. And I think, man, we didn't give it what we could have because we're tired.
All right. All right, so that's been our Clash of the Castle review.
Boom.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.